Welcome back to Fantasy 1.0. Today we're going to review one of the drafts that I executed last week using all the draft strategies that I've talked about in previous episodes.
And yield for the apocalypse, yeah. It's the apocalypse, yeah.
Okay, so this episode is going to tie in a lot of things that we've been talking about up to now. I took a draft that I did last week. I've still got a couple to go, but this was probably number 8. I know I'm a crazy person. But again, I'm going to show you, so I'm going to give you how I analyzed the league type, the draft type, the scorings, the settings, the roster depth, and how I implemented sort of the rules of thumb that I go by when drafting. So just to give you some background, this is a 12-team rotisserie league with a standard stake draft. I'm picking second. Things to highlight about the roster. It's a deep roster. So not only does it have all the infield, outfield, and obviously catcher position, but it also has a middle infielder, a corner outfielder, and just a throw-in outfielder. So you're looking at 7 infielders, 4 outfielders in total, 30 rounds, 1,500 innings pitched max for the pitching staff. And then next thing we're going to do is we're going to analyze the scoring categories, right? So everything is standard across the board except take out batting average and put an on-base percentage. What that means to me is I can now get away with investing in what would be cheap power in the batting average world if I can find power hitters that walk a lot. That's going to be reflected in the players that I pick that I'm going to go through with you. Another thing is wins were thrown out the window and quality starts were put in instead. That means, now, side note, to quickly let you know what a quality start is, a starting pitcher has to pitch a minimum of 6 innings and give up no more than 3 runs in order to have warranted or be awarded a quality start. So that shifts my focus on selecting starting pitchers. That means I can look for pitchers that are on, not as winning of teams, so they don't necessarily have to be with the Cubs and the Yankees, and they tend to play in pitchers' ballparks. So then I might look at guys on the Padres and guys in the Athletics and so on. It also means I'm going to steer my focus away from rookie pitchers and young pitchers and pitchers that are rehabbing off of injuries. These are the guys that, they come back and they're going out and they're throwing. They may be throwing a spectacular 5 innings or 4 innings of baseball. 4 innings, they're not even going to get a win for that matter. But 5 innings or anything, between 5 and 6, they're not going to be able to be awarded a quality start. I want some durability. So I'm looking at some older pitchers, some guys that are going to be relied upon this year to throw more innings. So if they can, they're going to be in there. That's going to help them qualify for a quality start. Another thing as well is this lowers the value or diminishes the value of relievers even more. The fact that wins, they won't qualify for quality starts, nor can they be awarded wins. So throw that out of the way as well. Okay, so, and again, these are there'll be referencing links below and links to other videos, but these are some of the rules of thumb that applied or I used while I was drafting. So I'm looking for high floor early. I'm looking for upside late. I wait on saves. I don't care about saves. I can pick those guys up on waivers. If I have any idea or any knowledge into what's going on with bullpen depth charts, that's going to keep me ahead of the game, and I'm going to be able to pick guys up before closers lose their jobs. Remember, there's a 50% fail rate for closers. So for every pitcher that's an opening day closer, there's a 50% chance they're going to lose their job throughout the season. I applied that rule as well. I waited on catchers. I'm not wasting picks on Gary Sanchez and Buster Posey. I'm waiting right to the end of the draft, and I'm just picking up somebody. And then I'm balancing stability and upside. So again, I want those high risk, high reward players blended in with my steady eddies, my solid players that are going to give me, definite return on investment. So with that in mind, I'm just going to sort of give you some groups of players, who I was able to pick up. So my infield, my first pick I got was Jose Altuve. Very happy with that pick. Rounding up my infield, I got Manny Machado. I got Corey Seager. At first base, I got Miguel Cabrera. So you got that mix of young and old. Now remember, on-base percentage is more important than batting average. So in my, other middle infielders, you're going to see guys like Chris Davis. He's going to hit 220, but he's going to walk a lot. So his on-base percentage might be hovering around 340, and his power might come back. I got him in the, somewhere in the middle to the late of the draft. So there's some value there. That's where I got other guys like Kyle Schwarber. He's lost like 40 pounds or something crazy like that. No batting average there, but again, on-base percentage, is a lot higher. Draws a lot of walks. A lot of guys in your league aren't going to be drafting to any of these shifts in categories. They're going to be thinking about him with the batting average hat on, even though they're drafting for on-base percentage. Exploit that. Go after those players, but you're going to be able to wait a little bit because they're going to drop in drafts as well. I put a big onus on starting pitching because I'm going to be chasing those quality starts, remember. So I've got a pretty well-established, and I invested early in my starting pitchers. Not right off the bat. I don't have any of the big four, but I do have Yu Darvish, Dallas Keuchel, Aaron Sanchez, Julio Teheran, Cole Hamels, names like that. So I'm going to be able to fill up my innings. There's also Tanaka as well for the Yankees. So again, I've got these established pitchers. I've invested, again, heavily, in the, let's say, early mid rounds in the starting pitching, the core staff right there. And I waited on my bullpen. I waited right to the end. So in the next video, I'm going to be talking on my exact strategy for saves. But just to give you in a nutshell what I got, the dumpster fire I have of closers to start the season. But I'm going to make up for them, and I'm going to finish top 4 in saves. But I'm starting out with Shane Green, Fernando Rodney, Greg Holland, and Hirano. I forget his first name for the Diamondbacks. These guys are either in the running, free agents, or coming out of the gate as closers. I will have 4 of the worst closers in baseball. If Greg Holland has a job. He'll be one of the best ones if he does get a job. But anyways, I'm not investing much draft capital on those guys right off the bat. Another one of the rules I implemented was zig when they zag. So when I was sitting at the end of my draft, I was considering picking up some of those, safer guys to fill up my roster, but I realized that nobody was taking any of the young players. And again, remember, it's a 30-round draft, so I have these extra bench spots. So I was able to score Nick Senzel, Victor Robles, Gleyber Torres, and in the earlier rounds, I think I got him around 96 overall. I might have overpaid, maybe not, but I got Ronald Acuna as well. So I've got a lot of these guys that are going to be showing up as NA because they're starting the season in the minors. I'm going to hold on to them as long as I can. Obviously, Acuna, he's kind of a different sort. He's going to come up in the first couple of weeks, I'm assuming. The other guys, I'll hold on to them as long as I can. If I need the bench space, somebody gets hurt, or if a player's underperforming and I need to hold off and pick somebody up on waivers, then I'll go ahead and I'll drop them and I'll pull somebody back in. All right, so this is where I'm at. This is one of the teams I'm more happy with. There's others I like more than this one as well, but this one I really went solidly at the sort of rules of thumb. I practiced what I preached. This is the team I got. I project to finish, well, I always project to win, but I think this one's a pretty solid example of how I draft, how I execute on it, and how I go on to it into the season. And good luck this year, unless you're in my league.